The drinks I like, especially at the moment in my career, is more obviously going to more the bartender side, so a bit more heavier, darker spirits, say rye or bourbon based, something straight up. But at the same time, I've got a weakness for citrusy sour drinks as well, something a bit drier. My name is Gregory. I'm a bartender here at Black Pearl and the Attic in Fitzroy, Melbourne. Before I started bartending, I was obviously a chef, but I was more focused on the pastry side, I dare say. So a lot of creativity in sweets and sugars, but which is quite ironic because I actually don't eat a lot of sweets or chocolates or anything like that, but I love making that and love just the aspects of cooking with desserts and sugars, more than actually meats and savory. My pastry chefing background has definitely influenced me on my abilities to obviously balance flavors in a drink. Just to start with, obviously the classics came later down the track, but when I first started out, the principles of actually combining flavors together and actually measuring to a T is another big part about making drinks. Everything has to be measured properly, and that sort of side of it came through a hell of a lot. I got into bartending through an old bartender I used to work with when I was still cooking in a restaurant. So I had 2 weeks off, and it was actually the last Melbourne bar show. So I came down here for a couple of days, stayed with a few bartenders, got the bug, went back to Brisbane and literally quit my job the next day and started bartending, which was a bit of a surprise to my parents. So they were just thinking I was be pulling beers after that, but worked hard and got to where I'm at now. The biggest accolade I'd have to say in bartending so far would be when I went to Amsterdam for the Bowls Around the World competition. So it's one of the worldwide competitions where fortunately I came first, which is always a good thing. Winning a worldwide comp is quite impressive, and it does piss off Chris Highstead as well because he hasn't got the accolade yet. So Fitzroy is the mecca for artistic spots in Melbourne. Obviously the street art, the food, the culture and music. A lot of people think Fitzroy is a bit of a wank, but at the same time you keep finding those people coming back as well. Black Pearl is a very iconic bar on the Australian bar scene map. Obviously working here as well has been a privilege. It's one of those places I always wanted to come to. Previous awards have always been Best Bar Team, which these guys are very proud of as like a family mentality. As well, we're nominated for a couple of awards this year for Tales, which is top 4 for World's Best Cocktail Bar and Cocktail List, which is quite impressive, and obviously Tash is obviously very proud of us. So the food we have here is coined by Time Out as dude food, or you could say stoner food. The signature dish we have is a pulled duck nachos. So everything on the dish is homemade, so it's braised duck, homemade salsa and homemade guacamole, so everything is just made in-house. My mentors at the moment would have to be 2 people. It'd be Tash, the owner of Black Pearl in the Attic, just because she has 9 guys working underneath her, keeps us in control, grabs us by the balls and makes sure we don't go over the line and getting ourselves into trouble. And the second would be Jason Crawley. Just for a guy, when I first met him, just started out bartending, such a humble person, just likes a beer and a chat, so nothing more, nothing less, but his knowledge in cocktails is amazing. Yeah, welcome to the Attic Bar. Today I'll be showcasing 2 drinks. The first drink is going to be a flip. This drink will contain 45 ml of Russian standard vodka, 20 ml of white port. Just tried this recently, the 1883 vanilla syrup. So just 10 ml of that bad boy. 2 dashes of barrel-aged bitters and a whole egg. So add all the ingredients to a shaker tin and just dry shake without ice, just to emulsify the egg with all the ingredients. Then just add ice. And a good hard shake. And then strain into a chilled fancy glass. So it flip's pretty much just a eggnog with no dairy. So just grate a little bit of fresh nutmeg on top for aromatics. So there we have the Tsar's breakfast. A twist on a classic cocktail called the flip, but without dairy, similar to an eggnog, perfect for a cold winter rainy night. The Barbados on Fire is a classic after-dinner drink in the same style as a Café Brûlée from New Orleans. With the addition of coconut, it gives you that warm feeling of being back on a tropical island. We have 50 mils of Mount Gay extra old rum.
Mount Gay, it's got all the backbone to it, all the spices and all the rich caramels and vanillas.
7.5 mils of yellow chartreuse.
Just for the honey notes, and there's obviously a little bit of saffron in that.
7.5 mils of Don Benedictine. 10 mils of 1883 coconut syrup.
These syrups are really rich and they're actually like the fresh ingredient. Coconut is banging, really good. You just have to heat up the booze because we're setting on a fire. And it's good for a bit of theatre as well. If you're in a bar and you see this at a table, or even like just for a single serve if you're doing it. But it's always better as a group serve, I find, because you do get a bigger flame. Just pull that bad boy over the top. So the trick as well, you got the hot water and the coffee on the side as well. This is going to put out the fire. And just pour that in evenly. And this drink, you can always do a garnish. You can always do biscottis or cookies on the side. But for me, I always like this drink obviously should be a naked garnish. Nothing else, no thrills. Everything's always in the preparation of the theatre. But there we have it, Barbados on Fire.
We're gonna like to see how y'all dig this here.
So this industry has given me a lot of life experiences, and it's almost like a family mentality as well. I've made a lot of friends. Where I foresee my future down the track, mentoring some younger bartenders as well. Maybe even owning a bar would be the best outcome, I dare say. But for now, I'm happy with what I'm doing, and the future looks pretty bright.